Okay, class. So we're on page 298, and we're doing questions 6 through 11. Let's take a look at question number 6 first. They're asking us in this problem to name the shortest and the longest sides of the triangle. Unfortunately, before I can do that, I need to know what all the measures of the angles are in the triangle. I know that a triangle has 180 degrees, so I can find the measure of angle A pretty simply. So the measure of angle A is 67 degrees. Now that I know that angle A is 67 degrees, now I know what all the angles are. So I'm looking for the shortest and the longest sides. Well, in order to know that, all I need to do is find the smallest, and the biggest angle. 42 is the smallest angle, and it's across from AC. So side AC is the smallest side. 71 is the biggest angle, and that's across from side AB. So AB is the biggest. So segment AC is the smallest, and segment AB is the biggest. And from now on, all I'm going to do is I'm going to put them in order so I don't have to keep writing this. The first one will be the smallest, the second one will be the biggest. Let's take a look at number 7. Again, I have a missing angle. I find that the missing angle is going to be 65 degrees. And you should notice right away that that is a isosceles triangle, which means that 2 of the sides are going to be congruent. Now, this is a good example to explore this a little bit further. Let's find the smallest side. Well, S is my smallest angle, and it's coming straight out, so RT is going to be my smallest side. So segment RT is my smallest side. But now, this is 65 degrees, and this is across from SR. And this is also from 65 degrees, and this is across from what? ST. So we can say that segment RS is congruent to segment ST, because we have an isosceles triangle. And remember, guys, in an isosceles triangle, I would have the dashes here like this. This would be my vertex angle. These would be my 2 base angles. And it only makes sense that these 2 sides are congruent because these 2 base angles are congruent. Let's move on to number 8. Again, I have 90 degrees. I have 35 degrees. So the missing angle is 55 degrees. I can see clearly that this is my smallest angle. So this right here, guys, is going to be my smallest side. So segment KJ is going to be the smallest. I can see here that this is 90 degrees, and that's my biggest angle, and that's across from this segment here. So my biggest is going to be HJ, segment HJ. For questions 9 through 11, they're asking us to name the smallest and the largest angles. Here, they're giving me the sides, and I'm looking for the smallest and the largest angles. Well, naturally, the smallest angle is going to be across from the smallest side. Well, we can see here that 6 is the smallest side. That's across from C. So C is the smallest angle. And then I can see here clearly that 18 is the biggest side, and that's across from B. So angle C is the smallest, and angle B is the biggest. For number 10, again, I'm looking for the smallest and the largest angle. 6 is the smallest side. I know that's across from the smallest angle. So angle R is the smallest angle. I see that side 10 is the biggest side, and that's across from Q, which is the biggest angle. So angle Q is the biggest. Number 11, looking for the same thing. 2 is the smallest side, and that's across from angle H, or vertex H. So angle H is the smallest. And 4 is the biggest side, and that's across from angle F. So angle F is the biggest. And those are all the questions on page 298, 6 through 11. We have a few more minutes, so let's go over questions 14 through 19 on page 299. On question 14, they want us to list the sides in order from shortest to longest. So we're going to name the sides from the smallest to the biggest. So let's take a look here. Here they're giving me the angles, so I'm looking for the sides. Well, this is my smallest angle, so this is going to be my smallest side. So segment AB is my smallest. And again, guys, I'm just putting them in order from smallest to largest. Angle 60 is the next biggest one, and that's across from here. So segment BC is the next biggest one. And angle B is 80 degrees across from here. So angle AC is the biggest one. For number 15, they give me 30, 90. I can find the missing angle simply enough. Means that this is going to be 60. So now I have all my angles in place. This is the smallest angle. So segment FD is the smallest. This is the next biggest one, 60 degrees. So segment ED is the next biggest one. And this is my 90-degree angle, which is the biggest. It's across from segment EF. So segment EF is the biggest side, from smallest to largest. Same thing with number 16. I need to find the missing angle. It's 25 degrees. So I can see here this is my smallest angle across from this segment here. So HJ is the smallest. 35 degrees is the next biggest angle. That's across from this side here. So segment GJ is the next one. And we can see the 120 degrees is across from this side here, which would be segment HG. Again, I have them from smallest to greatest. Question 17, they're asking us to list the angles from smallest to largest. So now they're asking us to put all the angles from smallest to largest. Well, here I'm looking for my smallest side. Here's my smallest side. So angle L is my smallest. Then I have the next biggest side, which is 10, and that's across from angle K. So angle K is the next biggest. And M is the last angle, and that's across from the biggest side, side 14. So angle M is the biggest. So here I have my angles from smallest to largest. Same thing again here, from smallest to largest. 12 is my smallest side. It's across from N, so angle N is my smallest. Then I have 18. 18 is across from Q, so angle Q is my medium side angle. And here I have 24, which is the biggest side, across from angle P, so angle P is the greatest. Number 19, I have this side 5 here. That's across from T, so angle T is my smallest. Then I have 6, and 6 is across from angle S, so angle S is the next biggest. And finally, I have 9, which is across from angle R, so angle R is the biggest angle. And all I've done here is list the angles from smallest to greatest, matching the side to the appropriate angle. Let's take a look at numbers 24 and 25. For numbers 24 and 25, they want us to solve the inequality of AB plus AC is greater than BC. Well, I know that segment AB right here is x plus 2 plus, and I know that segment AC is x plus 3. And that's going to be greater than segment BC, which is 3x minus 2. So all I need to do here is a little algebra. X plus 2 plus x plus 3 is greater than 3x minus 2. Combine like terms, 2x plus 5 is greater than 3x minus 2. And I'm even going to do it a little bit different this time. I'm going to subtract 2x. So 5 is greater than 1x minus 2. I'm going to add 2 to both sides. So 7 is greater than 1x. And remember, it's always a good idea to have the variable first So I'm going to put my 1x here, I'm going to put my 7 there, and I'm going to flip this, which basically means that 1x has to be less than 7. X has to be less than 7. So it could be 6, it could be 5, it could be 4, it could be all the way down to 0. Let's take a look at question number 25. Again, we have triangle ABC, and they want us to solve the inequality that AB plus AC is greater than BC. Well, I know that A to B is x plus 2. I know that A to C is x plus 4, and that's going to be greater than, these two together is going to be greater than the third side, which is BC, which is 3x minus 1. Combine like terms, so I'm going to get 2x plus 6 is greater than 3x minus 1. Well, now I'm just going to do a little algebra here. So minus 6 minus 6. I'm going to get 2x is greater than 3x minus 7. Now I'm going to subtract 3x. Subtract 3x. That's going to give me negative 1x is greater than negative 7. And I'm going to divide both sides here by negative 1. And remember, guys, when I divide both sides by negative 1, what happens to this inequality side here, and sign here? Yeah, it's going to switch directions. So I'm going to have x is going to be less than 7. And I have my variable first here. I have my variable here, so that's what I want to have. X is less than 7. So coincidentally, the answers for number 25 came out to be the same as 24. It's not always going to be like that. It's just a coincidence.